it time to pay the college athletes?
Well, it's been time to do that for a long time. I mean, for years and years. I think the issue that we're seeing before us now is one of exploitation of the athlete. And the NCAA will say that they exist to keep the athlete from being exploited. But just look at the relationship that the universities have with these shoe companies, where the shoe companies are paying them 10, 20, 30, 40 million dollars to use the players as unpaid billboards. That's what they are. That money is being paid to the universities to put the product on the players, and really for no other reason. So should the players be compensated for that? Absolutely they should be. This is a multi-billion-dollar business, and the players are the only ones that don't have economic rights. Everyone else except the players is allowed their fair market value, and the fact that the players aren't, I think, is a travesty. But that doesn't make, if there were rules broken here, that doesn't make that right. That's still wrong under the current system. But should the current system change? It should have changed decades ago.
Jay Bilas, I've been Max, let me go ahead first. Jay Bilas, I've been on record on many occasions. I'm an unapologetic capitalist, and I believe that everybody, it's not about a player being compensated. It's just that I don't think all players should be compensated the same. If you're starring at Duke, chances are you should get paid more than a player at North Dakota. That's basically me. That's how I think about it. But I wanted to ask you about Zion specifically as it pertains to whatever payment his mother was allegedly received from Nike. Duke is a private institution. There have been people associated with AAUs texting me and talking to me about how he could have been a preferred walk-on, and as a result, might not have accepted the scholarship, which would have made it legit or legal for him or his family to receive something from Nike. I can't imagine that to be the case, but rather than speak about it, I couldn't wait for you to come on to just educate us about what those rules are and what rules would potentially be broken in a situation like this.
Yeah, Stephen A., the NCAA's amateurism rules have no distinction between a player that gets a scholarship and a player that does not. So the idea that you could be a walk-on or a preferred walk-on, which is essentially just a recruited walk-on, and you don't take scholarship money, therefore you can take money in other areas, that's just not so. Every player is the same. Once you're an athlete, you are under the same amateurism restrictions, and that's what they are, restrictions. So the real issue here is in this specific allegation. Did Zion Williamson's mother take money as a consultant for Nike? Now, if she was a legit consultant for Nike, that may completely be legal underneath or under the rules. But to me, it's an easy question. Did Nike pay money as a consultant to Zion Williamson's mother? And then if that's the answer is yes, then that would have to be justified as being a legit service that was provided. Right now, and this has been going on for years, shoe companies have been sponsoring AAU programs, paying money to AAU programs and sponsorship, and then those AAU programs pay out money to coaches, they pay expenses and the like. So there's a lot of money flowing through the system. To me, it's not that hard. The answer, Duke should have this answer really quickly, and I'll give you a reason why. When Zion Williamson blew his shoe out, Nike had people on a plane the next day to get down to Duke to fix the situation. They were on a plane then to China to make sure that he had the proper shoes going forward. They can tell pretty quickly whether a transaction was made and say, here's why the transaction was made, because they have a contractual relationship with Duke. And so this should be easy to clear up. In fact, it should be cleared up by now.
Jay, there's a line from the Bogart movie Casablanca. I'm shocked to discover gambling is going on here. You're winning, sir. Oh, thank you very much. I mean, that's basically my reaction to all this. But you're right, we're a nation of laws, and if a rule is broken, they have to look into it, etc. What it seems to me, and there's been no better expositor of this idea than you. If I were the NCAA, I'd be like, oh my God, we have a Jay Bilas problem. Like, this guy won't stop because you have relentlessly articulated this position so well. But it seems to me that what's especially insidious about the arrangement is not merely that, hey, they have basically low cost or free labor, so they want to continue that system. It's not just about the labor cost. It's about the veneer of amateurism that's important to the NCAA. The reason that they care about cream cheese on a bagel is not just, oh, we don't want to pay the players. They don't want the players to get paid period, because part of the allure of the product is the veneer of amateurism. So that seems like an irreconcilable difference here. What can be done about that?
Well, I feel like the justification for amateurism by saying that, well, if we allowed the players to be paid or allowed them to make money off their name and likeness in the marketplace, the product would be less popular to the public and we wouldn't make as much money off the product. That's really a lame justification for not providing the same economic rights to every athlete that every other person has, including every other student. First of all, I don't think that justification stands up. Look, coaches are being paid $5, $6, $7, $8 million now, and nobody's turning away from this. We're playing these Final Four games in a 77,000-seat arena, and nobody's turning away from it. It's a multi-billion-dollar business, and more people are watching than ever. So the idea that if the players were allowed to be paid, people'd stop watching is not only baseless, it's a lie, and they know it's a lie. To me, this comes down to one thing, and that is the administrators know they're not going to cancel sports if the players get paid. They know they're not going to do that. They're saying they would, but they wouldn't. They know the administrators aren't going to make as much money. And athletic departments aren't going to be as big as the Pentagon. And you're not going to see the money flowing as much to coaches. It would go toward talent acquisition. And so we'd see a shift in that. And the people who are making the most money now wouldn't make the most money going forward. More of it would go to the players. And that's why they're hanging on to this so dearly. And they will hang on in a white knuckling this to the very end because they want to control every penny of this.